UFC International Fight Week is finally upon us. And UFC 329 is shaping up to be one of the most volatile, legacy defining cards we have seen in years. We aren't just looking at the matchups, we are looking at massive career defining crossroads, stylistic puzzles, and historic return that could completely shatter the entire landscape of the welterweight division. Today, we are breaking down the entire main card, giving you the deep technical blueprints, the sharp betting angles, and the definitive fight night predictions. We are analyzing everything from the brutal, high pressure co-main event to the main event and the massive Robert Whittaker's way to the light heavyweight.
We are unleashed, breaking the chains of the iron cage. We are unbound, turning the heart to a primal rage. We are unleashed.
Now, let's kick off this with a rapid-fire look at the main storylines of the card, starting with a massive bantamweight contenders bout where Mario Bautista faces Cory Sandhagen. Bautista uses heavy grappling exchanges with tight pocket boxing, but Sandhagen is a completely different level of defensive puzzle. Cory's elite footwork, flying knees, and mastery of range will make it incredibly difficult for Bautista to establish top control. Sandhagen uses his length, keeps the fight at the range, keep it on the outside, and pick up a clear unanimous decision victory. Next at flyweight, Brandon Royval welcomes the highly touted Englishman Loner Caviar. Caviar has incredible hype, explosive striking, and elite speed, but Royval's chaotic, relentless pace and high-level jiu-jitsu scrambles are a nightmare for anyone making their big stage debut. Expect early danger, but Royval's veteran experience and insane cardio will take over this fight. Pick Brandon Royval by unanimous decision. Now, let's pivot to the dark horse storyline of the weekend. Robert the Reaper Whittaker finally making his permanent move to 205 pounds and facing ever dangerous Nikita Krylov. At 35 years old, Whittaker has spent his career killing his body to make 185. Free from the brutal weight cut, a fully hydrated, faster Bobby Knuckles enters the light heavyweight division. Krylov is dangerous, chaotic, and always hunts for early finishes. However, Krylov leaves massive defensive holes on his feet and can be out-wrestled. Whittaker's blitzing hand speed, elite takedown defense, and championship-level fight IQ will translate beautifully to the light heavyweight division. He avoids the early storm from Krylov, times up beautiful counter combinations, and secures a statement-making second-round TKO. Light heavyweight just got a brand new contender. Pick Robert Whittaker by TKO. Moving to the co-main event of the evening, a massive high-stakes lightweight showdown between Benoit Saint-Denis and Paddy the Baddy Pimblett. The narrative here is fascinating. Paddy is trying to reconstruct his hype train after dropping a close high-volume battle to Justin Gaethje. Paddy's striking has shown a massive noticeable improvement. His chin is durable, and his grappling off his back remains elite. He wants to win this, call out Conor McGregor, and secure a massive payday. But to get there, he has to walk through the literal French military meat grinder in Benoit Saint-Denis. BSD is one of the most violent, high-pressure fighters in the entire lightweight division. He doesn't give you room to breathe. He marches forward and throws heavy kicks and forces grueling, exhausting pace in the clinch. The technical flaw for Paddy has always been his striking defense. He tends to leave his chin high in the air when exiting exchanges. Against a clinical finisher like Benoit Saint-Denis, that is a recipe for disaster. While Paddy has the submission skills to be dangerous if this hits the canvas, Saint-Denis possesses elite jiu-jitsu, heavy top pressure, and a far more devastating striking arsenal. BSG is going to force a dogfight from the opening second, drag Paddy into the deep waters, and drag him down along the fence. Look for Benoit Saint-Denis to hurt Paddy on the feet before taking this into the canvas. Pick Benoit Saint-Denis by TKO. Now, the moment the entire combat sports world has been waiting for 5 long years to see Conor make his return. Finally, the notorious Conor McGregor versus Max, utilizing a hyper-athletic karate-style bouncy stance and surprise wrestling. But today, both fighters are completely different beasts. Let's look at the parameters of this cap. Conor McGregor has purposely chosen silence. No massive world press tours, no theatrical distraction. He has spent this time rehabbing his body, building clean muscle mass, and beyond second round, Max will win this fight surely, no doubt. Max will win either by unanimous decision or he could even win by a knockout in later 4th or 5th round. That's a possibility. But don't be shocked if Conor wins the fight. The only way Conor wins the fight is early finish. That's it. He can't hang with Max Blessed Holloway for 5 rounds. It's pretty obvious, right? So pick Max Blessed Holloway, maybe late 4th or 5th round finish. There you have it. Our official technical blueprints and final predictions for the massive UFC 329 International Fight Week. We are backing Sandhagen, Royval, Robert Whittaker, Max Blessed Holloway, and Benoit Saint-Denis to win their bouts. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your predictions down in the comment. Does Conor shock the world? Or Max finally have his revenge? If you appreciate deep dive technical breakdowns, do not forget to smash the subscribe button, like the video, and turn on notification so you don't miss our post-fight analysis. This is Unleashed MMA and we'll see you on the Fight Night. Peace.